I mean, guys, these are the Democrats. Did you think for a second that they cared about the illegals that they imported into the country? Absolutely not. They brought them here to replace you. They need to replace you. Whenever the globalists and the communist, Marxist, globalist, I mean, they're all globalists, really. When when they said we will own nothing, rent everything, and eat bugs, while they do whatever they want, did you think they were talking about like stubborn, angry Americans? Did it, did you think they meant us? That's not who they were talking about. They were talking about the people they're going to replace us with. They will eat the bugs. They will own nothing and be happy about it.
There are a lot of Latinos here in this country that do agree that the immigration problem is a problem and it does need to be addressed and it does need to be fixed.
Interesting.
But making those comments, those racist comments, do not help.
And if you kick every Latino out of this country, then who is going to be cleaning your toilet, Donald Trump?
Oh, that's no.
In the sense that
No.
you know what I mean? Like when I'm
Don't start telling me I'm Islamophobic.
Yeah, you guys remember that from about 10 years ago when Kelly Osbourne said the quiet part out loud? A lot of people also have the misconception that the Democrats need the illegals to stay because they plan on having them vote eventually. From what we're aware of, from Doge, they've allowed at least 1.5 million of all the illegals they let in to gain access to driver's licenses, social security numbers, and access to other things that only citizens should be allowed to access. But that's because it is the party of slavery. They've always been the party of slavery. And the reason that they need them here is because they plan on just using their bodies as a way to gain more congressional seats and to have more voting power during the electoral college. A lot of people just have this misconception. I even had it for a little while there at the beginning when they started flooding us, even before Biden was in office. And I really said, man, they're going to make all these people vote and they're going to vote Democrat forever. This is crazy. It's like Lyndon B. Johnson, but with illegals. This is crazy. Instead of black people. And it's that's not the case. It's not. Of course, I'm sure they would want them to all vote, and I'm sure they would want them to enjoy America as much as we have. But that's not the case. They're really just need them here, and they're going to gum up the works as much as they can to force these people to stay, so they can cheat in elections and they can try to win, especially with an approval rating around 19%.
People keep asking, why are they doing this?
Yeah.
One, I think Democrats want to reimagine America. Long term, they're looking at the 10 million people who've already kind of entered our country illegally over the last 3 years as potential voters. But short term, just go as far as California. Yvette Clarke, a Democrat congresswoman, was talking about how many people are exiting their state. They're going to places like Texas. They're going to places like Florida. Do the math. They need more people in their district to be able to keep their seats. So the 10 million people that have come over already represent 14 new congressional districts.
14.
14. It's about 700,000 people that we each represent. So when you do the math on the 10 million, that's about 14 new seats. Where are they going to go? California. They're going to go to New York. They're going to go to Illinois to make up the difference of the people who are leaving. This is all about Democrats maintaining those congressional seats and maintaining control. And they don't care the fact that we've had 100,000 people who have been killed by fentanyl. They don't care about the moms and the families that are being killed by DUI drivers who should never be in this country, the murders, the rapes, the child trafficking, the sex trafficking. They don't care about that. It is all about control.
The Democrats have always lied about the party switch. They've always been the party of slavery. They are importing the slaves that they openly speak about. You thought they were talking about us stubborn American citizens that have more guns between a small portion of us than most militaries in the world have. They don't plan on subjugating us. They plan on importing a new third world into this country and subjugating them and having us get mixed up between the two. And then there's blurred lines and they don't know who's who. And then we just get all gobbled up. And that's really what they're hoping for. And you have to keep diligent and stay and just keep spreading information as much as you can. This is a brand new channel. You know, I've been injured for the last couple years, guys. I'm about to go back to my regular full-time job. I'm still gonna try to get at least 2 to 4 videos a week like I normally do, full-length videos. This one's gonna be a short one, but, I really wanted to check out Representative Balint. I don't know how to say her last name. I didn't even look at the spelling, to be honest. It looked like Balint or Blint, something like that. And she's gonna say again something similar to what Kelly Osbourne just said. And these are the Democrats. They're telling you to your face who they are. You should listen.
If we don't have avenues for people to come here legally to work or to build a home here, I'm going to be really crude right now. We're not going to have anybody around to wipe our asses.
Dad?
Because we don't have enough people in our country now to fill the jobs that we have right now. But we have to make sure those folks are getting a decent wage and making sure that their rights are protected. And we also have to make sure that we have an adult conversation in Congress about the give and take and how this works. Because it is not a xenophobic or racist thing for people to say they want to know that our borders are secure. That alone is not. What falls apart is how policies are enacted. And right now, we have a fair amount of lawlessness that is happening among ICE and Homeland Security.
You're retarded.
That was not anything, I think, that most voters wanted.
Is wrong.
What they wanted was to know that there was a secure border, that there would be pathways to citizenship, and that the rules would be the same for everybody. The problem is right now, people are following the rules
wrong.
at every step of the way, and they are still being carted off and kidnapped and not being allowed to have access to their
Is
attorneys.
wrong.
I don't think that's who we want to be as a nation.
Is wrong.
But I think we are in our bunkers right now on this issue. And I'm hoping that as I bring stories back to my colleagues about what I'm hearing from folks in Derby Line who feel like their community is being torn apart by a government that does not understand that the community is not just on one side of the border, that it actually incorporates the entire region.
You're very retarded.
I mean, at this point, these people really can't stop doing Nazi salutes. Am I right? I mean, am I right? Cory Booker, these people are deplorable. They're absolutely disgusting human beings. Whenever she's speaking and saying that the amount of lawlessness and criminal activity we've seen from ICE and DHS, I'm like, what? What what do you mean? And they're being rude and doing illegal things to the illegals that you illegally let into the country that no one wanted for. And we voted to have them removed. And now you're saying that we actually everyone doesn't actually want them removed. The majority of the country doesn't want these people removed, and they should resist and fight federal officers at every turn. And that's why we've been covering all these scenes of politicians and people being charged with crimes for obstructing, resisting, and just overall attacking ICE. There was hours long protest in LA today where people just take to the streets and don't let ICE operate. This is going to turn into martial law. This is going to turn into very, very bad things for law abiding citizens that shouldn't have to go through this. But we're willing to go through it if it means you're going to deport all these illegal people that shouldn't be here. It's pretty much that simple. The people that could and would fight back against a military style takeover of the country are the people that almost want it and need it to happen to remove the people from the country that we don't want in here. And then they're going to say, well, that means if you do that, then they can do that to you. We need to reserve the rights of everyone, even like every foreign person in the entire world that doesn't live here and aren't citizens. We should give our privileges as citizens in the United States to everyone in the world. If then it'll be really fair, right? Are you fucking retarded? Do you believe me yet? Do you understand why this is so important for the morality of guys? This isn't morality. This isn't virtuous. This isn't anything other than just Democrats grabbing power. That's all this is. and the destruction of America. It's really that important, guys. These people are getting kicked out one way or another, and we're not going to stop. No one feels bad. The crying, the fake tears, all the whinging and moaning, sitting in the streets, blocking cars. Eventually, they're going to start running you over, and we're not going to feel bad about it. I'm not I hope that doesn't happen. I hope you come to your senses and realize that the illegal activities of the illegals that you illegally let into the country is why ICE, DHS is going after them the way that they are. And you're like, oh, they're being deported, and none of them have even been found of anything illegal. Are they here illegally? Yes. They haven't been found wrong of it. Dude, go take a seat. You absolute garbage humans. Go take a seat. All right, man. I'll see you guys on the next one. I got a couple other videos I'm working on. I wanted to cover this real quick, but yeah, I got some more battles with ice. I got the funny one where they thought it was ice, but it wasn't ice. I got a couple things in the works. Yeah, I'll probably see you again this weekend. This is only the second video this week. I wanted to get 3 or 4 out this week, but I'm really distracted, guys. Going back to work for the first time in a year and a half is um I was seriously injured, and my job is a very demanding job. Maybe one day I'll talk about it, but it's not. I'm not a rocket scientist, obviously. I'm not. I run very expensive businesses that, um, you know, it's not a big deal. It's nothing crazy important, but you need me. And the world needs people like me that fix things like this and do things like this and run these types of departments. Um, but it's just very demanding, a lot of hours, things like that. I'm not sure I wanna go back to it, but, I'm gonna give it a try and see if the money's still the way it is, then I'm gonna take that money. But, either way, guys, I'll see you guys soon, man. Thanks for watching. I appreciate all the impressions, the new people that have showed up. Just bear with me. This has been after the power outage, it's been a couple weeks of me trying to get my footing again while, having to go back to work, finish all my drug tests, and do all the stuff I redo my physicals to go back to work. It's just I was seriously injured. But enough of that. Press those buttons. I'll see you guys soon.